Welcome everyone, good afternoon, sorry about the delay. I'm Councillor Scott Pater-Harris, the Chair of the Licensing Committee. Please be assured, obviously, we've put appropriate cleansing, social distancing measures in place to ensure the meeting is undertaken in a COVID-secure manner. Jane, can we remove that from the start, because I just don't think it's relevant now. Thank you. Just going to go on to do some quick housekeeping. If continuous fire alarm sounds, please evacuate the room and the public gallery by the stairwells. Do not attempt to use the lift. Please assemble the Queen Victoria statue in front of the civic offices. In order to comply with the Guildhall Trust fire marshal regulations, anyone who signed in at the reception desk should sign out when leaving the building at the end of today's meeting. And also, can you please make sure you use your microphones and remember to switch them off when you have finished. So basically, your microphone is just a little button, press it on, it will come on the red light, speak when you finish, turn it off. Thank you. I'm just going to do some quick introductions around the table. So I'm obviously Councillor Scott Pater-Harris. I go to my left.
I'm Councillor Dave Ashmore for Fratton Ward.
My name's Ben Attrell. I'm a solicitor employed by the Council and I'll be advising the subcommittee whilst they make their decision today. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Derek Stone, Principal Licensing Officer.
Good afternoon, Richard Maidment from Regulatory Services, making representations regarding public nuisance.
Good afternoon, my name is Andrew Aquilina, I'm the applicant, and next to me is my business partner, Kay Adu.
Good afternoon, I'm Danny Faulkner, I'm a resident who lives just behind the premises.
Good afternoon, I'm Councillor Benedict Swan, representing Copner Ward, and can I please apologise to all of you for keeping you waiting.
And I'm Jane Dodino, Local Democracy Officer.
Thank you, that's everybody. The first item on the agenda is the appointment of chair. I'm going to ask for Ben Attrell, our legal advisor, to call for a nomination and seconder.
Can we have a nomination, please?
I nominate Scott.
Seconded.
Thank you, that's the formality of the chair, so I'll chair today's meeting. Do we have any declarations of members' interests? No. Okay, thank you. Item 3 on the agenda is Licensing Act 2003, application for a grant of a premises licence, which is barcode 50 Osborne Road, Southsea, PO53LT. Obviously, the purpose of the report is the application to grant a new premises licence pursuant to Section 18 of the Licensing Act 2003. It's being referred to the committee for determination following relevant representations from Public Protection, from Richard Maidment and from 3 local residents. Obviously, the subcommittee has been requested to determine this application. To open the meeting, I'm going to ask the licensing officer to introduce his report. So, would you like to introduce your report, Derek?
Yes, members. Well, things have changed actually since the report has been submitted. I've spoken to the applicant Andrew this afternoon prior to this meeting, and he wishes to change some of the times on the application and remove certain things. So, if I go through these, this is because obviously the objections, and he wants to make sure that he doesn't cause any upset or annoyance to the local residents. So in effect, he's now asking for on Sunday to Thursday for alcohol to commence at 12 as originally applied for, but to finish at 10 o'clock in the evening with the premises closing at 10:30. On a Friday and Saturday, alcohol sales again starting at 12 as applied for, but finishing at 2300, so 11 p.m, with the premises closed at 22:30. That obviously has an impact on the other licensable activities that he applied for. He wishes to remove live music, and I'm sure Andrew will explain all this as we go along. So therefore the playing of recorded music, the times will change in accordance with the operating hours applied for now. The late night refreshment application side of it is no longer required because after 11 o'clock in effect the premises are closed. In relation to the extensions for Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, Andrew has indicated that he would be happy for the extension to go to midnight on Christmas Eve, and I guess the premises are closed at 00:30 hours, so half an hour to clear the premises. And again for New Year's Eve to go to 12:30, obviously to allow the New Year to be seen in and the premises to be closed by 1 o'clock. As you've already said, there have been some representations. I don't need to go into those today because obviously Richard Maidment from Regulated Services is here to speak to you, and also Mr Faulkner is here as one of the residents. But you do need to take into account the other representations that have been made, which are written before you and are in Appendix C. I don't think I need to say any more, other than to say that I'm obviously here throughout the proceedings, should you need any further information or instructions. Thank you.
Members, do we have any questions? No. Just a quick one, Derek, just for some clarity. So, sale of alcohol, both on and off premises, obviously in the report it says to 11, that's been changed to what time? Just so I can make notes of this quickly.
So the sale of alcohol now will be from 12 to 2200 hours, Sunday to Thursday, and on a Friday, 12 to 2300 hours.
And performance of live music's gone?
Correct.
And obviously playing and recorded music corresponds with the sale of alcohol?
Correct.
Yeah, that's fine. And obviously later night refreshment's gone as well, because obviously we're closed. Okay, that's fine. That's fine, just for some clarity, thank you. No questions, members? Okay. Do you have any questions for the officer? No. Richard, do you have any questions? No. Mr Faulkner, do you have any questions for the licensing manager?
No, I'm pleased you've made those changes. That's much appreciated. The only fear I have is that there may be, an application to extend the hours. This might just be a foot in the door, because I've seen it before. And also, it's not so much that when the people are in the premises, it's when they leave the premises.
Okay. Do you have any question specifically for our licensing officer?
My apologies, no.
No, it's fine. You do get your chance in a moment, don't worry.
Okay.
I won't forget you.
Thank you.
I promise. So, obviously, thank you for that, Derek. I'm going to move on to the applicant to obviously present their case. I'm happy to present your case.
Yep, certainly. Thank you very much. So, as we've heard, that we have reduced our hours. That is to please our neighbours, and also as a business, we think that would be more viable for us. We are not looking. We understand what is in Palmerston Road and Osborne Road at the moment. We are looking to, if I may use other bars and clubs as references, we're not looking to have like a drift bar clientele. That's not what we're aiming for. We're aiming for more like Chambers, which is just on King's Road. It's a much more relaxed environment. We are doing food. We'll be doing food, table service only. When that finishes at 7 p.m, we will be then turning into a bar. Again, not a loud late night bar. That is not what we're going for. I have worked in the city for 17 years now in bars, and I understand these issues that neighbours have, and I've always wanted to work with them to make sure that they are happy. So yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
Not at the moment, but if anything comes up, I'll be happy to explain anything else as well, of course.
Members, do we have any questions? Dave? No. I don't have anything that I want. I think I appreciate the fact that you've changed your hours, so thank you. I think that's quite interesting. I'm going to pass over to Richard. Do you have any questions? No. Okay. Derek, do you have any questions? No. Do you have any questions, Ben?
Just a brief question about the amendment of the hours. It was mentioned that on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, the hours would be extended for closing, but what wasn't mentioned was what would happen to the hours for the sale of alcohol. So I just wondered if you could just confirm what your intentions were for on those evenings when you've obviously got longer hours.
Yeah, certainly. So we are looking to sell alcohol at those times as well. So on Christmas Eve would be sell alcohol until midnight. On the New Year's Eve until 12:30, as we said, closing half an hour later at 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay.
Ms. Faulkner, do you have any questions for the applicant?
No, just a general observation, if I may.
Yeah, of course you can.
A few years ago, you remember Time and Envy were moved from South Parade and everything was going to go to Guildhall. Then we saw the growth of Palmerston Road. I think Palmerston Road is pretty full up now, with bars and restaurants. And now we're seeing the expansion into Osborne Road, with pools, with rapscallions, with shenanigans, with the Greenwich pub. How many more bars do you really need on Osborne Road? because I'm in dispute with Pizza Go-Go at the moment, because when all these guys leave your bars, they go and stand outside Pizza Go-Go, which has a licence till 3 in the morning, okay? And every night I'm getting woken up by Pizza Go-Go drunken people, okay? And I'm just at my wit's end, and I just think what this is going to do is just feed more people into the area, which is full up already with drunken people. Do we really need any more?
Thank you for that, Ms. Faulkner. I'm going to hand over to Richard Maidment from Environmental Health to put his case over.
Thank you, Councillor. In light of these changes to the times, I don't have any problems with this application. What I would like to recommend, though, is that I have some conditions which I'd like to be placed on the licence if it's granted. I've already spoken to the applicant and he's in agreement with these. That's all I really have to say.
Thank you. Have you got the conditions in front of you?
That was going to be my question. What are they?
It might be useful to read them out.
Yeah, I
want to read them out, Chair?
no, I'd like Mr. Richard Maidment to read them out, please. Obviously, they're his conditions.
I'm going to take one back to you.
No, that's not allowed.
The first condition is, other than associated with the use of a pavement or highways amenity licence, no bottles, glasses or drinking receptacles of any kind shall be used for the consumption of beverages immediately outside the premises. Number 2, all doors and windows shall remain closed after 2300 hours. Number 3, bottle bins shall not be emptied outside the premises between the hours of 2100 and 0700 hours. Number 4, any external floodlight fittings shall be angled below the horizontal plane or provided with shields to ensure there is no spillage of light or visible glare to residents beyond the boundary of the licensed premises. Number 5, deliveries and waste collections for the premises shall only take place between 0700 and 2100 hours. And finally, number 6, within 28 days of the licence being granted or any future transfer of the premises licence holder shall submit a noise management plan to the local authority detailing measures to monitor and control noise levels associated with the operation of the venue. Upon approval, these measures shall be implemented in full.
Thank you for that, Richard. Councillor Swan's just going to have a quick read, because me and Councillor Ashmore read it. I know Ms Faulkner's got a copy, so you can refer to that in a moment if you wish. Do you have any questions for Richard Maidment in the meantime?
Just to confirm, you said that the applicant's happy with the conditions that they've read it, and they're happy with it.
Yes, we discussed this just prior to the meeting, and he was happy to accept these.
Thank you for that. Councillor Swan, do you have any questions? No, that's fine. I don't have any questions. It seems that obviously there's an agreement between two parties here regarding I think the interesting one is point 6, which I think is very sensible actually to ensure that a noise management plan is submitted. I think that's a very credible thing to do, and also it gives the committee some teeth if this application is approved today as well. So thank you for that. I don't have any questions for yourself, Richard. I'm going to ask the applicant, do you have any questions for Richard Maidment?
No, thank you.
Mr Faulkner, do you have any questions?
Yeah, just one. On the doors and windows shall remain closed after 2300. Would it be possible, because there is a rear door to the property that goes into the car park, I just have a fear that will be left open all night when it gets hot in the summer.
Okay, thank you very much for bringing that up. We are not looking to keep that door open. That door is a fire exit and should remain closed at all times.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just going to actually on the basis of that, Richard, would you be happy to just amend that slightly to put that in there about the rear door remaining closed?
Yes, that's fine. Yeah.
That's fine. So yeah, we'll pop that in the actual condition. Are you happy with that, Mr Faulkner? That's brilliant. Okay. Do you have any questions at all, Tarek? Thank you. Ben, do you have any questions?
I just want to clarify precisely what's been agreed there. So the rear doors will remain closed at all times that licensable activities are taking place. So whenever you're selling alcohol, whenever you've got any kind of licensable activities going on at the premises, is that you're happy with that?
Yes, we are. We're happy with that. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. I just think if we can make reference to the rear door I think would be sensible if any conditions are granted. Thank you. I'm going to hand over to Mr. Faulkner now to make his submission to the council regarding this application.
Yeah, on the basis of what I've heard this afternoon, thank you very much for accommodating the residents to the rear of the property. And accept the changes. I'm quite happy, now. My only fear is we will be watching this and we'll be looking for scope creep, should a further application be made at a later date.
Thank you for that, Ms. Faulkner. I just on that note, obviously I get an opportunity to ask any relevant questions to yourself. I'm just going to make a note of that. Obviously, if the committee does grant this today, we do have power review that can be brought forward by a member of the public via environmental health, via our licensing officers, and regarding the police, if there is any issues that do come from the premises. So that power is available to you and other residents that live around you. So I just want you to be aware that is in place. I think the conditions that have been offered are, I'm not prejudging here, but I think they seem quite reasonable, and I'm glad that you feel they seem reasonable as well, which is very good. Any members, do you have any other questions? No, thank you for that. Do you have any questions at all from Ms. Warren?
Thank you.
Richard, do you have any questions?
No, thank you.
Derek, do you have any questions?
No.
Ben, do you have any questions?
No questions as such, but just to touch upon the usual theme, members, you'll be well aware of this, but for the benefit of residents, both yourself and others that might be watching, the commercial need for premises is not something that the subcommittee can take into account. So if there is a number of premises within a certain area, that unfortunately is not something that they can consider as to whether or not another premises is required per se on a commercial basis. However, the point that you make is that there is a saturation, if you like, of premises in this area, and accordingly there's effectively a cumulative impact. Members can consider that. The authority does have policies in place for particular areas that it's identified as having an oversaturation of premises. I think I'm right in saying, I'm looking at our licensing officer, this isn't one of those particular areas. I feel sure the report would have mentioned it if that were the case. And when that is the case, then the policy kicks in and there's a rebuttable presumption that licenses effectively won't be granted or be extended in those particular areas. This isn't one of those areas. That doesn't mean to say that you can't bring up the points that you have done. You still can, but the rebuttable presumption doesn't kick in. So the members can take that into account. But given the relative low number of residential objections and the significant movement that there has been in relation to the application itself, you'll need to obviously attach appropriate weight to that.
No, I think that the cumulative impact zone is important, and I think it extends at the moment to Guildhall, if I'm correct. The licence officer nodding. I'm glad that I know that. I think it's a very important point, and I think it's something that actually there are an explosion of premises in that area, and I think it is slowly you're seeing a shift towards potentially that could be a new cumulative impact zone as we go forward. I don't know. I think that's one for the council to decide later on.
Yes, very much. It's particularly led by the police, and the formation of the policy. It has to be on the basis of police evidence, frankly, at the end of the day, showing that there are significant issues of crime and disorder in the area.
No, I totally agree, Ben. I think it's worth noting, and I'm glad you brought it up today. Actually, thank you. So, obviously, now we're going to go into summing up. Obviously, would you like to sum up, Mr. Faulkner?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Good, thank you, brilliant. Obviously, Richard, would you like to sum up? Add anything?
No, I have nothing to add, thank you.
Derek, anything to add?
I have nothing to add, thank you.
Anything to add, Ben? Nothing, okay. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, thank you. Just in future, if you have any issues or anything, please feel free to come and see us in the bar. You can always come and speak to us. We're always welcome.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's quite all right.
Thank you for that. Is everyone happy that they've said everything they want to say? Okay, I'm getting lots of nods. That's brilliant. What we're going to do now is we're going to go into closed session to make a decision based on the information we have. It is currently 4:45. I envision we'll probably be back about 5:15, Ben?
Yes, I think
About
that's...
5:15.
I think you can say that it won't be before 5:15.
Won't
It
be
might
before.
take a little bit longer, perhaps, depending on, obviously you're going to have to make your decision, issue your reasons and formulate those. So you can go away safe in the knowledge that the subcommittee won't reconvene before 5:15.
Yeah, 5:15. We'll have a decision. Won't be before then, but we will make one. Okay, thank you. But thank you for your time and thank you for coming today. And thank you for everyone being very reasonable. It's very nice. Thank you.